So I want to put something to rest now, once and for all. And I keep hearing, even from some of my regulars, that silver sucks. Silver's terrible. Silver doesn't move. It's not a good hedge against inflation. It doesn't do anything. You can't make any money off of it. Blah, 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 blah. I've heard it all, and I'm going to prove to you right now how silver does not suck. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. So it's Monday morning, and it's President's Day. My shop is pretty slow today, and it gave me a little time to think. I also have somebody here, a friend of mine, who I was trying to explain to him and show him the value of silver. And I came up with this, and I did some research and looked it up. It's publicly available on the internet. You can look this stuff up. But basically, you see here there's $17 in fiat paper money. And here's $1 face value of 90% silver coins. So this $1 face value equals right now about this, $17. If you go back, a long time, 1945, and see what $1 would have bought you versus buys you today, you'll get my drift on where I'm heading with this. But this would equal this right now, basically. And it's very obvious that this silver has kept up with inflation. Over a long period of time, it has. And it has protected you. I think it's more generational, really, because it moves so slow. But as of today, right now, this $1 face value of 90% will get you about $17 in cash. So I looked this up. In 1964, the average price of a brand new car was about $4,500 versus today, probably, I didn't look it up, but I'm sure it's 40 to 50,000 average price of a new car. Of course, some things are much more and some things are a little bit less, but it's probably about that. And if you took that 4,500 that you would have had to laid out back then to buy a new car, and bought, it's kept your change actually because it was still silver then, and just put it away. As of today, it's about $75,000. So in that manner, and in that putting it that way, you actually did quite well with your silver. Now, of course, it's a little bit ridiculous because it's such a long period of time. I don't expect any of you to be thinking in those terms, but it does bring up a valid point about how it's generational insurance. Basically, you're pretty much insuring your kids or grandchildren if it stays on the same path it's been on, and rises at the same overall average level based against inflation and other numbers. It varies, it goes up and down, but generally speaking, it seems generational because it's so long, right? Um, so you could, if you're young enough and you have enough of this put away, you're pretty much protecting your children or grandchildren if they do the right things with it. There's a lot of variables involved with this. But, it kind of puts to rest the notion and all these comments I've been reading about how silver is garbage and it's worthless, because it's really not. I think, especially as Americans, we have a very short attention span and we have no patience, and everybody wants to get rich overnight. And that's not what silver, specifically silver and gold, actually, is for. Once again, it's an insurance policy or a hedge. So to the naysayers, if you can disprove what I'm saying, so be it. Let me know in the comments, because I am no economist. These are just things that I'm looking at myself. There's a lot of channels that are constantly pumping silver and gold, and this, in my mind, is pretty good justification for it. So I'm not actually calculating some things. I'm leaving some things out, as you probably are aware. as to wages. And, wages have also increased over time. We make a lot more money now than we did then, so on and so on and so on. I get that part. I'm just looking at it at the surface and giving you a hypothetical. And in reality, there are some people who did this, and it's not hypothetical for them because it actually protected the buying power of their dollars they owned. Now we're going to, if we get into a point now, which a lot of us think is coming, and that is an event of hyperinflation with the dollar collapsing, or the dollar maybe not even collapsing, maybe just losing value. Well, I can tell you right now, if you don't have some silver and gold and that happens, you are in big trouble with that fiat money that you have in your bank accounts or in the stock market. That is common sense and it's obvious on the surface. Um, just going by the history of what silver has done over the years, slowly moving, slowly, and it's gone up, in comparison to the buying power of the dollar. But if we do get into one of these events where the dollar loses its supremacy, you better have some silver and gold. Otherwise, you're going to be broke. I mean, uh, even at a rate of like everything increases 4 times, which is a lot. Gallon of milk is now $12, and that average car that's 40 or 50 is now 200,000. You get my point. Gold and silver should rise. Specifically, silver should really rise because it seems to be pretty out of whack at the moment. And I think without it, if you don't have it and this comes to pass, you're in big trouble. Honestly, the whole country would be in big trouble. It brings up other questions at that point. What do you do with it? Do you convert it to this fiat money to survive? And you may have to, but trading might become a real viable option. Trading bullion at that point. I'm sure you'll be able to use what you have to capitalize on that and continue on with your lifestyle that you've had. So I really don't want to hear anything more about how it's no good. It's too slow. It doesn't move. It hasn't moved. All those things, because in reality, it is what it is. It's a hedge or an insurance policy. And if what we think is coming down the road here with the dollar, you better have some. If you don't, you're in big trouble, really big trouble. So I'll leave it at that. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comments below in the video. And also, please like and subscribe. It's helping my channel grow. And I appreciate you watching this. Thank you and have a great day.